ago, I met someone on Tinder and we just clicked. I was never the one who can initiate a conversation, let alone carry it, but luckily he did all the hard work. Either I'm a hopeless romantic, or according to my co-star account, that I'm so desperate that I chase just anyone, but I saw potential in us. He lived in another city, so we had never met, but somehow we managed to keep the conversation flowing, which surprised me, and also my mom had she known about this, because she says I can never commit to doing anything. The last week of December, my friends and I bid farewell to Sid and Spawn, that is 2020, by going on a trip, and we chose his city as our destination. The fact that I have never been in a relationship and those gay teen fics I've been reading on Wattpad since 7th grade did nothing but fuel my excitement about meeting him for the first time. I literally told everyone about this as if we were already together. Except my parents, of course. Oh, the trauma of a closeted adolescent. So, I hopped on a plane to Saigon with starry eyes and clouded judgment. Because we're in the clouds, so clever. Because I spent all of my savings for this trip to meet a guy who could possibly be a serial killer. Or worse, a fuckboy. I said what I said. Murderers kill you instantly, but fuckboys, those are a different breed where they slowly and mentally slaughter you and end up being sleep paralysis demons that visit you in the middle of the night or even in your DMs a year later with that "hey" message. Totally not speaking from personal experience. Anyway, we plan to meet up on the last day of my trip, but I won't bore you with the details. All you need to know is that he stood me up. This is not the first time I have been stood up. In fact, I think I handled this pretty well, considering the first time I cried was also on Christmas. Seriously, what is it with December and me getting my heart shattered? This time, I only curl up on the bed and listen to Champagne Problems by Miss Tay Tay Swift. We love a good cinematic parallel. All my life, I have been single, and I think deep down inside, there's a thought that says I'm not worthy of love because of my insecurities. So every time a guy decides to grace me with his attention, I feel grateful and I overcompensate to make up for my flaws. Ironically, it makes me an easy target considering how quickly I become emotionally attached. They say third time's a charm, and I guess that's true because it took me 3 times being fucked over to realize that I do not need someone to feel validated. I was looking for love from someone else to love myself. In all honesty, though, I'm grateful this happened on the last day of 2020 so I could start a new year with a clean slate and zero emotional baggage. Only physical, because I did really unpack my stuff from the trip on the first day of 2021. If there is one thing 2020 has taught me, that is to appreciate what you have, since you never know what's gonna happen next. And as I was surrounded by my friends trying to comfort me, I realized how stupid and selfish I was. This trip was to celebrate our 10 years of friendship, and I chose to mourn over some stupid guy. So I picked myself up and embraced my inner white girl to live, laugh, and love my last day in Saigon. But first, brunch! We went to a glorifying, overpriced, so not Insta-worthy brunch place, and I could have lied, but the food was not on par with the price. Maybe they're selling the culture here, but if I want to experience white culture, I would just pick up a self-help book from the nearest bookstore, preferably The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. My ADD is really showing right now with the way I keep sidetracking from the points I want to make. That brunch place is so expensive that we ran out of money to do anything else, so we just sat there and looked at each other, waiting for the right time to go to the airport. And as I was about to board my flight back home, I reflected on our whole trip together. Sure, I lost a date with a guy I had been simping over for the last 5 months, but I got so much in return. I fell out of love with someone, and even the notion of always settling for less because of the fear that this might be the best I will ever get. That rhymes. Instead, I fell in love with Saigon, with the food I tasted, not that brunch place, the people I met, the places I went to, and the vibes I attracted. I do not need a certain someone to experience Saigon with, but to my friends, I'm glad I got to spend it with you. I know this is cliche and I'm so sorry.